Hey, welcome back. I took a little break. Sometimes it just takes time and funding to fix a machine. I ran into some new problems that I've not had yet in a machine repair. Also, I'll be honest, I was a little afraid of it, which is kind of strange to say, but when you're dealing with something pretty cool, you don't want to mess it up. And since I'm an amateur at best in repairing and learning all of this stuff, it took me a while to get motivated and brave enough to dig in. So let me tell you about my new machine. So before I introduce you to my new machine, I just want to say a huge thank you to my husband, John, who actually got this for me from a neighbor, gifted to me from a neighbor. And if you happen to be watching, thank you so much. Your aunt's sewing room is definitely getting love and use. So let me introduce you to Sally, my 1964 Singer Featherweight. Now, this is a well-known, beloved machine, and you would think all the information out there would be available to learn from and be guided on for repairs. However, I happen to have the model that has the different things. There really wasn't a whole lot of information for me to go on, and I had a very odd problem that I sorted out on my own, and it ended up being very small. I just needed to purchase some parts. She sews magnificently because these were made exclusively in Kilbowie, Scotland. And the reason why I actually named this machine Sally is that I have a great grandmother who is from Scotland, and I thought it was pretty appropriate because where she was from originally was not too far away from Kilbowie. Very appropriate, I think. Basically, was afraid of this machine for about a week. I just stared at it. I was just in complete shock that a neighbor would give me this. She gave it to my husband to give to me, but I just kind of lost my mind for about a week, stared at it, afraid to touch it. And then I decided, well, I better do it or I'm never going to know if this sews better than the 301 that I have. So let me tell you what I had to do to this machine to get it into the state that it is. Because it really wasn't in bad shape. It just had a few minor things wrong with it, but it did take me a little bit to figure out. Okay, first look at the box. It is missing a handle. I believe the handle is green, and I have located a replacement one online. And just from one sewist to another, how much is that going to drive you guys crazy? Because it's already driving me crazy, and I've owned it for about 4 seconds. So okay, so no handle. The box appears really well. It does have a smell to it. I've read that is a common thing. The box looks really great. Just a couple nicks. So before we get to the machine itself, let me just show you what it came with. The original manual and just some personal knickknacks and what I assume to be the locking key for the box. So as for the machine, it is the pale turquoise, light celery, white, all the many things that I've heard it called. We're looking at the back of it, but it appears to be just a wee bit dirty, and it needs a new belt, just from right off the get-go. So cleaning, new belt, and let's see about the bobbin. Oh, we have the original one, so that's great. My 301 did not come with the original one, so I'm beyond excited and beyond grateful. I just cannot believe it. As with all of my machines, when I first get them, I give them a thorough deep clean. Now, this last was quite dusty and she needed some special attention in some spots. She also had a couple of rusty spots which really stood out against the white color of the machine. A soft head toothbrush, sewing machine oil, and a cloth is what I typically use in the very beginning. Now underneath of the machine, you never know what you're going to find under here, but this one was pretty pristine. I really lucked out on this part. As I mentioned previously, and obviously as you can tell, I needed a new belt. This appears to be the original belt, which was a white, off-white color, and it was crumbling to bits. One thing to note that I thought was really interesting was that there were a ton of tiny wires, like metal wires, in the belt encased in another material. When I first received this machine, I went ahead and immediately ordered a replacement belt. I got the super belt from the Featherweight shop. It is a different kind of material than the original. At this point in time, I think I'm just going to toss on the new belt and start sewing. However, I discover that I have a really odd problem. But to address that, this belt did go on quite easily. Just, you follow the instructions that the Featherweight shop has available for you and you're good to go. I sped this up because I'm going to be doing this again later on in the video. Okay, I'm at the point where I thought I was going to be ready to sew, but the needle bar is not dropping when engaged, so it's not sewing. This is the first thing I found that was wrong. This needs to be in the 12 o'clock position. It's at 11. It needs to be at 12. So I have to take this all apart and reset that. I'm just going to open things up and see what could be wrong. Everything looks to be clean and functional, so it's got to be something small. I took the plate off, and I'm just going to align that in there and put it back on. So I'm currently looking for what could be holding up my needle bar here. Like, why isn't it engaging? One theory was that the clutch and this little washer were not aligned, but they were, but it was actually really gross in here, so I'm glad I took it off. Next theory is that I need to replace this belt here, which I don't know yet, because when it moves fine. Everything's moving, something's not engaging. Okay, I've unmounted the motor, and I immediately noticed that this pulley, the external pulley, was broken. So I'm stopping here. I'm going to buy a replacement piece and then go from there. Hopefully that's the thing that it was wrong. Okay, here's an unboxing of what I ordered from the Featherweight shop. First of all, I got two things for my 301. I just got the service manual and a hoop, as well as a darning foot in here, or embroidery foot somewhere. Look how cute that is. Little rickrack touch. Love it. So here, this is that piece that I need to actually fix my machine, hopefully. Okay, and I got some brushes, even though mine does not need any replacement. I just figured since I was placing an order, I might as well have these on hand. Here. Oh, this is my embroidery foot. for my 301. There'll be a separate video for that. Okay, and then this, I think, is a little touch-up paint. I do have a couple rusty spots. Oh, comes with a brush. I didn't realize that. I have a lot of brushes, but was not anticipating a brush to go with it. Since I have a white Featherweight, I went ahead and got a little bit of the white paint to try to touch up the couple spots that I have on there. Okay, and this is the last thing. I did go a little hog wild buying things because I was pretty excited about the machine in general. Oh yeah, it's the new handle for my case. Okay, now that I have all my parts, to move to the next stage of this, as a reminder, this little pulley bit was broken. It goes right here. Okay, I got the pulley and set screw installed. I have the engine mount screw back on. I left a little give on it just to be able to work on the belt. And I'm going to go ahead and install that now. The stitches are very fine, very clean and neat. I had it at a smaller stitch per inch setting for this. And sorry, the fabric is yellow, but that is the scrap fabric I had on hand. And I did actually get to sew a bit of this dress here with the Featherweight. Okay, first things first, for the handle replacement is that you have to cut off those bars there that held the previous handle. So my husband, okay, let's try that again. My husband John is helping me do this. So here are the new bar replacements. They send you BBs to use as a block, if you will, when you tap in the bars here, and you get a little extra in case you mess up maybe, or in case you need to replace it down the road. Very cool. Okay, John's gonna help me out here putting on the new handle because this requires some delicate handling. I actually have a heavy hand, so I'm not really trusted with this kind of fine work here where you have to put in this pin through the new handle. So you use a BB to kind of smash the end so it kind of flowers out and attaches that way. The originals were solid inside, and these are hollow.
Wow.
The replacement.
Yeah, it's like a true rivet or whatever.
So I think you're correct where you would have to use some kind of specialized tool, and this is just a workaround that they're
just something.
Yeah, I understand the purpose of the BB, but I feel like, I mean, that's probably the easiest way, but this is tricky.
That's tricky.
Okay, next step is addressing this little rash here. I bought the paint to do the touch-ups also from the Featherweight shop, and I'm gonna go ahead and touch that up. I actually have a lot of experience with actually automotive paint because my dad ran an auto body shop after he retired from the military, and that was my first job for like the first 5 years of my working life. So I know a lot about paints, so we'll give this a go. I felt it was important to shake the paint up quite a bit before I used it, so I didn't show that, sorry about that, but I do recommend doing that just in case it just moves stuff around a little bit. The paint went on nice and smooth. As I was painting, it did look like a good match. However, when it dried a little bit of a different shade than what my machine was, and no fault to the Featherweight shop whatsoever. Paint, I know from experience, is just really tough to match after something has aged, and many other factors too. So it's a good enough. All right, a little recap. So belt replacement, knob replacement, touch up over the rust, original box repair. Again, I just have to tell you how amazing that is to receive the original box with the machine. I lost my mind over that. I also, I forgot to tell you that I have the original bobbin case. Amazing. I understand the hype. I get it. I completely get it, how people just love this machine. It's so portable. It is so lightweight, and it stitches so fine. Now, is it my new favorite machine over my 301? We'll find out in my next video. Hey, as always, thanks for watching. I appreciate all your comments below, your stories that you share with me. I've learned so much from you all, and keep it coming. I love learning. I love these machines, and I'll see you real soon. One more thing. I just want to say that I am not a quilter yet. However, my sister is. So if I ever think that I don't love this machine, say I do love my 301 better. My reasoning for going all in on this was, if I don't like it, I can give it to my sister who is a quilter. But right now I'm just letting the collector in me just like hoard them all. I still want to try the black model, the original model, just to see how it feels, if it feels any different with a different kind of mechanism in here. I know this is like a collectible piece, and I get it. It is pretty. It is a really pretty machine. Even my daughter had come over and she was like, wow, that's really cute. It is very cute. It's very easy on the eyes. I do like the black machines. I like the classic, although this is really cute. So cute. Hey, look at my cute machine. Look at that cute machine. Cute, 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 cute. Was shocked. Again, shocked, that I was getting this machine, or that I received this machine, and then I also received its original box. You just could have lit me on fire and I would have ran around happily with joy.